The annual Thompson family reunion was in full swing at Uncle Pete's McMansion, a gaudy testament to what he called old money mixed with new success. The usual suspects were gathered around the pool, sipping expensive wines and comparing corporate victories like warriors comparing battle scars. I sat in the corner, nursing a glass of water, watching my cousins and uncles parade their achievements. My laptop was open beside me. There were still some final details to review for tomorrow's announcement. Emily. Uncle Pete's booming voice carried across the patio. Still buried in spreadsheets? Come join the real business conversation. I closed my laptop slowly, checking my phone one last time. 3 unread messages from my executive team. Legal. Final merger documents prepared for signing. PR. Press release drafted for tomorrow's announcement. Operations. Integration teams ready for deployment. Coming, Uncle Pete, I called back, sliding my phone into my pocket. 10 years of being the family's perpetual junior analyst was about to come to an end. So, Uncle Pete grinned as I approached the group. Still pushing papers at Meridian Corp? When are you going to get a real position like your cousin James here? James, freshly promoted to regional VP at Thompson Financial Group, Uncle Pete's company, raised his glass with a smirk. There's always room in my department for an entry-level position, The others chuckled. I took a slow sip of water, letting their laughter wash over me. They had no idea that while they'd been mocking my modest career at Meridian Corporation, I'd been orchestrating the largest financial sector merger of the decade. Under my professional name, Elizabeth Morgan. Actually, I said carefully, I've been quite busy at Meridian lately. We're going through some organizational changes. Oh. Uncle Pete's eyebrows rose. Finally getting that senior analyst position? My phone buzzed again. The caller ID read board chairman. Excuse me, I said, I need to take this. I stepped away, aware of their dismissive glances. James's voice carried across the patio, probably her supervisor assigning more spreadsheets. Ms. Morgan, the chairman's voice was crisp. The board has approved the final terms. Thompson Financial Group is officially ours. I turned back to watch Uncle Pete holding court, bragging about his company's market position. Excellent. Proceed with the announcement preparations. And Chairman, make sure the integration teams are ready. Tomorrow will be interesting. They still don't know, do they? He sounded amused. No, I smiled, watching James show off his new Rolex. They have no idea their junior analyst cousin has been running Meridian Corporation for the past 5 years. And now owns their company. Tau that too. I ended the call and rejoined the group. Uncle Pete was in full swing, explaining his latest business strategy. You see, Emily, this is what real corporate leadership looks like. Thompson Financial Group is about to announce a major expansion. We're positioning ourselves as the dominant force in the market. How interesting, I murmured, checking my watch. In exactly 12 hours, that major expansion would be revealed as a hostile takeover by Meridian Corporation. Speaking of positions, Aunt Margaret chimed in, swirling her wine glass. When are you going to settle down, Emily? James just got engaged to a lovely investment banker. James's fiancée, Sophia, preened beside him. We're thinking of buying that new development on Highland Avenue. You know, the luxury condos. She glanced at my simple blazer and pants. But I suppose that's a bit out of an analyst's price range. My phone buzzed again. HR Director, Executive Transition Teams in place. Security, Access Protocols updated. Ready for tomorrow. Finance, Asset Transfer Documentation complete. Actually, I said, I just bought a penthouse downtown. The same building where Thompson Financial Group's headquarters was located. They'd soon learn why. Downtown. Uncle Pete scoffed. Must be one of those tiny starter units. Now James here just closed on a 5-bedroom in the estates. Speaking of real estate, Cousin Mark joined in. Did you hear about that mysterious buyer acquiring all the prime commercial properties around our offices? Dad's been trying to figure out who's behind it. I hid my smile. Those properties were now part of Meridian's portfolio. My latest chess move in the acquisition game. Must be one of those big conglomerates, Uncle Pete declared. The real players, you know. Not these small-time analysts pushing papers. My phone lit up with a news alert. Market Watch. Major financial sector announcement expected tomorrow. Did you see this? James thrust his phone toward the group, showing the article. Something big's happening tomorrow. Dad, could this affect Thompson Financial? Uncle Pete waved dismissively. Nothing we can't handle. Thompson Financial Group has been in our family for 3 generations. We're untouchable. 3 generations, I mused aloud. It's amazing how quickly things can change in corporate America, isn't it? What would you know about it? James snorted. Still working on those quarterly reports? The sun was setting over the pool, casting long shadows across the patio. In less than 12 hours, these same people would be reading very different reports about how their untouchable company had been acquired by the very person they were mocking. My phone buzzed one final time. Executive Assistant. Your office at Thompson Financial has been prepared. Corner Suite, 50th floor. Uncle Pete's old office. More work emails? Aunt Margaret asked condescendingly. You really should learn to relax at family gatherings, dear. Oh, I am relaxing, I assured her. Just finalizing some organizational changes. Another spreadsheet reorganization? James laughed. How exciting. The caterers began serving dinner, and I watched my family take their seats at the long table, arranging themselves according to their perceived importance. Uncle Pete at the head, naturally, with James and other executives near him. They placed me at the far end with the second cousins and in-laws. If they only knew they were about to attend their last family dinner as controllers of Thompson Financial Group. The next morning, I arrived at Thompson Financial Group's headquarters an hour before the scheduled company-wide meeting. The lobby was buzzing with nervous energy. Rumors of a major announcement had everyone on edge. I bypassed the visitor's desk, using my new executive access card to enter the private elevator. The security guard who'd previously ignored me during my analyst visits now stood at attention. Good morning, Ms. Morgan, he said, using my professional name. My phone was already flooding with messages. PR team. Media assembled in main conference room. Security. All access protocols updated. Former executive credentials deactivated. Legal. Transition documents ready for distribution. The elevator opened directly into the executive floor, Uncle Pete's domain for the past 20 years. His assistant Caroline looked up, startled to see me step out. I'm sorry, this floor is restricted, she began. Not anymore, I said, handing her a folder. Please distribute these to all department heads. And Caroline, you're getting a raise. Her eyes widened as she read the merger announcement. You're Elizabeth Morgan? Among other names, I smiled, heading toward Uncle Pete's, now my office. The executive floor was starting to fill with arriving directors and VPs. James was already there, straightening his tie in the reflection of a window. Emily. He frowned. This floor is for executives only. The analyst meeting rooms are downstairs. Not today, I replied, continuing to what would soon be my office. Uncle Pete was inside, reviewing papers at his desk. He looked up, annoyance crossing his face. Emily, what are you doing here? We have an important announcement this morning. I know, I interrupted, setting my laptop on the desk, his desk. I'm making it. He laughed. Don't be ridiculous. Security. Won't help, I said calmly, pulling out my phone. Shall we wait for the others? It's more efficient to explain this once. As if on cue, my executive team entered, all wearing Meridian Corporation badges. Behind them came the board members, legal team, and PR representatives. What is the meaning of this? Uncle Pete demanded, standing up. Pete, one of the board members stepped forward. Meet Elizabeth Morgan, the CEO of Meridian Corporation. The color drained from his face. Elizabeth Morgan? The one who's been buying up financial sector companies. The same, I confirmed, laying the merger documents on his desk. Though you know me better as your niece Emily. James stumbled back against the wall. That's impossible. You're just an analyst. A cover, I explained, that allowed me to observe Thompson Financial Group's operations up close while preparing for this acquisition. More executives were gathering at the office door, whispering as they noticed me sitting at Uncle Pete's desk. You can't do this, Uncle Pete sputtered. This company has been in our family for 3 generations, I finished. And now it's part of Meridian Corporation. Your leadership team has already been notified. The board approved the merger last night. My phone lit up with a series of notifications. Stock exchange. Trading halted for Thomson Financial Group, TFG. Reuters. Breaking. Meridian Corp acquires Thomson Financial. Bloomberg. Elizabeth Morgan revealed as mystery buyer in financial sector. The company-wide meeting starts in 20 minutes, I said, opening my laptop. You might want to take a moment to process this. Uncle Pete gripped the edge of his desk. My desk now. How? We would have known if someone was buying up our shares. Shell companies, I explained. Blind trusts. The same techniques you taught me to ignore during family dinners because they were too complex for a junior analyst. James was frantically scrolling through his phone, probably watching his stock options transform under the merger terms. Those properties around the office, he whispered. The mysterious buyer. All Meridian Corp, I confirmed. We've been positioning for this takeover for 2 years. While you were mocking my spreadsheets, I was mapping out your entire corporate structure. Caroline appeared at the door. Ms. Morgan? The press is ready in the main conference room. Thank you, Caroline. I stood up, straightening my blazer. Uncle Pete, James, you're welcome to attend the announcement. First row seats have been reserved for former management. Aunt Margaret burst into the office, her face flushed. Pete, have you seen the news? Someone's bought the company. They're saying it's Elizabeth Moore. She stopped short, seeing me behind the desk. Emily. Good morning, Aunt Margaret, I smiled. We were just discussing the merger. Would you like to join us for the announcement? She collapsed into a chair, her perfectly manicured hand clutching her pearl necklace. But you're just what? I asked softly. Just an analyst? Just the family disappointment who never reached management level. My executive team was efficiently transforming the office around us. New nameplates appeared, security badges were collected, access codes changed. The machinery of corporate takeover hummed smoothly. The shares, Uncle Pete suddenly said. Your mother's shares. The ones you inherited. Were the foundation, I nodded. While you were all watching the major shareholders, I was quietly building my position through dozens of smaller accounts. Rather like how you ignored my small career moves. My phone buzzed again. HR, executive termination packages prepared. IT, system access transfers complete. Facilities, new signage ready for installation. You'll find your severance packages on your desks, I continued. Generous ones in spite of everything. We are family after all. The office had fallen silent except for the soft sounds of phones buzzing with news alerts and shocked messages. The main conference room at Thomson Financial Group, now Meridian's newest acquisition, was packed to capacity. Financial reporters filled the front rows, cameras ready. Behind them sat wide-eyed employees, whispering among themselves as they spotted familiar faces being escorted to the executive seating area. Uncle Pete, James, and other former executives were directed to their reserved seats, looking shell-shocked. Aunt Margaret had positioned herself near the door, probably planning a quick escape from the impending public humiliation. My PR director stepped up to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the CEO of Meridian Corporation, Elizabeth Morgan. I walked onto the stage wearing not the simple blazer from yesterday's family reunion, but a perfectly tailored designer suit that cost more than James's Rolex. The room erupted in camera flashes and surprised murmurs as people recognized junior analyst Emily. Good morning, I began, my voice carrying clearly through the stunned silence. Today marks not just a merger between two financial institutions, but a lesson in perception versus reality. My phone discreetly buzzed with updates. Market Watch, breaking. Thomson Financial Group acquired in surprise takeover. Wall Street Journal, mystery CEO Elizabeth Morgan's true identity revealed. Financial Times, family drama meets corporate takeover in historic merger. For those who know me as Emily Thompson, the supposedly perpetual junior analyst, this may come as a shock, I continued, watching Uncle Pete's face redden. For the past 5 years, while being dismissed as just a paper pusher, I've been building Meridian Corporation into one of the largest financial institutions in the country. The reporters' fingers flew across their keyboards, capturing every word. To our employees, I turned to address the nervous staff. Let me be clear. This merger isn't about revenge or corporate raiding. It's about creating a stronger, more ethical financial institution. Unlike the previous management, I glanced at Uncle Pete. We believe in promoting talent regardless of family connections or social status. James shifted uncomfortably in his seat as several employees nodded in agreement. Effective immediately, all employee salaries will be reviewed for equity adjustments. The previous practice of reserving bonuses for family-approved executives ends today. Merit, not last names, will determine advancement. The back of the room where the lower-level employees sat broke into spontaneous applause. Furthermore, I continued, clicking to the next slide, we're implementing comprehensive anti-nepotism policies and establishing an independent oversight committee for all executive decisions. My phone kept buzzing. HR, employee messages flooding in overwhelming support for new policies. Legal, former executives' non-competes activated. Operations, branch offices confirming leadership changes. Now, I said, clicking to a slide showing Thomson Financial's recent performance metrics. Let's discuss the real state of the company under the previous management. Uncle Pete half rose from his seat, but my security team's subtle presence made him reconsider. These graphs show systematic preferential treatment of family members, misallocation of resources, and declining market performance masked by creative accounting. Each point was illustrated with damning evidence collected during my years as the invisible analyst. While executives were booking private jets and buying vacation homes, I continued, bringing up more slides, qualified employees were being passed over for promotions in favor of family members with fraction of their experience. James slouched lower in his seat as his recent promotion details appeared on screen. For example, I highlighted a particular chart. Cousin James's division showed a 40% decline in performance since his appointment, while maintaining the highest operational costs in the company's history. The room buzzed with whispers as employees recognized their own experiences in my presentation. But today marks a new era, I announced, revealing Meridian's reorganization plan. Every position will be evaluated based on merit. Every promotion will be transparent. And yes, I smiled at the back rows. Every suggestion box comment that was previously ignored will be reviewed by our new management team. My phone lit up again. Employee relations, whistleblower hotline receiving first reports. Compliance, previous management's questionable transactions flagged for review. IT, executive email archives secured for audit.